At the restaurant, my sister announced to everyone, "Ariana, go find another table. This one's for family, not adopted girls." They all laughed and agreed. Then the waiter placed a $3,270 bill in front of me for their entire dinner. I smiled, took a sip, and humbly paid the bill. But then I heard a voice. "Just a moment, please." Grandma June stood at the end of the table. At 78, she still commanded attention. "I've been watching this family for years," she began, her voice cold. "Watching how you treat Ariana." My mother tried to protest, but Grandma cut her off. "I'm 78 years old and I've been sick for a while. The doctors say I don't have much time left." The table went silent. Even the nearby tables stopped talking. "I've spent those months getting my affairs in order, making sure my legacy goes to someone who deserves it." She pulled an envelope from her purse. A new will, signed and notarized yesterday. Melody's face lit up with greed. She'd been counting on that inheritance for years, already planning purchases with money she didn't have. "My entire estate, every dollar, every property, every investment is going to Ariana." The explosion was immediate. Melody shrieked. Kenneth slammed the table. My parents pleaded. Other diners turned to stare at the spectacle. Then Grandma dropped the real bomb. "When Lucia and Gregory adopted you, Ariana, they received $750,000 from your birth parents' trust. Money meant to cover your care, education, everything you'd need growing up." My hands started shaking. I stared at the documents she pulled out. Bank statements, transfer records, they'd spent it all. Vacations, cars, Melody's private school tuition, Kenneth's college fund, everything except on me. "That's theft," Grandma said quietly. "They stole from a child, from you." I'd worn hand-me-downs while Melody got designer clothes, taken out loans for community college while Kenneth got a private university fully funded, all while they had my money. 3 days later, I held a press conference with Grandma beside me. She laid out everything: the stolen trust fund, the documented abuse, years of exclusion and cruelty, medical evaluations from 3 doctors proving her sound mind, bank records showing exactly where my $750,000 went. Then Melody burst through the doors, makeup smeared, screaming, "This is all lies! That adopted brat stole my inheritance!" A reporter shouted, "What about the allegations your parents stole Ariana's trust fund?" Melody's face twisted with rage. "That money was ours! We earned it by raising her ungrateful self," she'd confessed. On camera, the video went viral within hours. The court hearing was swift. Judge Porter reviewed the mountains of evidence and ruled immediately. The contest is dismissed with prejudice. Furthermore, Lucia and Gregory Hayes must pay restitution, $750,000 plus 22 years of interest, $2.3 million total. You have 90 days. Unable to pay, my parents lost everything. Their house, their cars, all of it gone. Gregory got 3 years in prison for fraud. Lucia got 2. The same people who'd lived in luxury off my stolen money were now behind bars. Kenneth went bankrupt trying to repay his portion. $400,000 for the education they'd funded with my money. His marriage collapsed under the financial strain. Melody's public meltdown destroyed every opportunity. Her husband divorced her. Her restaurant venture failed spectacularly. She tried writing a tell-all book, but publishers rejected it after finding it full of lies. 6 months after Grandma June died peacefully in my arms, I stood in my foundation's headquarters, a building dedicated to helping adopted children escape abuse. We'd already helped over 200 kids. Kenneth sent one last desperate message. "Mom and Dad are struggling. Dad's health is failing in prison. Mom has nothing. Can't you find it in your heart to help them?" I typed back carefully, "They were never my parents, but I'll donate $750,000 to a fund helping abused adopted children escape families like ours, in their names. That's the only legacy they'll have." A year later, Business Magazine featured me, not as the girl who inherited billions, but as a CEO running multiple companies and a foundation that had helped over 500 children. I'd heard Melody was working in telemarketing. Lucia was in a women's shelter. Gregory was still in prison, his health failing. Kenneth was bankrupt. They'd built their lives on cruelty. When that crumbled, they had nothing left. My foundation had saved 500 kids. That was my real inheritance. Not the money, but becoming everything they said I couldn't be.